Alright, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Nicholas Touch from Ninja, and this video is just going to touch up on the news that was released today from Microsoft. Funny enough, it was from Don Mattrick, the guy who basically told the world that if you don't have an internet connection, then don't buy an Xbox One and you're good enough just to play on an Xbox 360. Yeah, it was a pretty tough pill to swallow, but anyways, so officially today, Microsoft has announced that they are dropping the DRM on the video games, meaning that you are free to trade in your games as much as you want and will not have to pay a fee to reactivate a used game. And as well, they have removed the 24-hour requirement of an online connection to keep your box running. The only time you will actually need to connect your Xbox to the internet is when you first get it home and set it up, mainly because this is going to all be achieved through a patch day one to remove the DRM and to remove the online requirement, which is actually kind of ironic to require an internet connection to remove the requirement to have an internet connection. But anyways, so first off, let me be frank with you guys. I will be honest, Microsoft already has my money. I have paid and pre-ordered for an Xbox One and PlayStation 4, that is. Both are paid off completely, and I am probably gonna be like you guys, waiting day one in those long lines to pick up my console. So Microsoft has my money, like I said, but there are a few things that I want to touch on. So first off, let's start by saying that the Xbox is a very westernized console. When I say westernized, I mean Western Europe and I mean North America. North America is where the Xbox was the most successful, and Microsoft obviously knows this because they are in the business of making money. If you look at the rest of the world, it's pretty much dominated by Sony. In Japan, it's Sony, and Europe, the rest of Europe anyways, well, the majority of Europe is Sony as well. And in the long run, Sony is going to sell more PlayStation 3s in the long run than Xboxes in the world. Like I said, this does mean, but that still does not take away from the fact that in North America, sales-wise, Xbox 360 has the upper hand and has outsold PlayStation 3 handedly for some time now. So that's probably where all this discussion has come from in terms of their policy and determining what they think will be their future-proof box. Kind of reminds me a couple years ago when the PlayStation 3 came out, and with the whole Blu-ray and cell processor thing, they were investing in future-proofing their box, and it was $200 more than Xbox 360, and we kind of all know how that went. So first thing I want to ask is, this online requirement, does this increase the removal of the online requirement? Does this increase the initial list of countries that were only Xbox One compatible from 21 to a more broader audience of the 196 other countries in the world? And the problem with all this always online policy is that the options that I think that Microsoft was trying to get to and trying to think that we would want, they were never really fully explained to us. Like quick play, possibly, most likely with the DRM, once you install the game, the mandatory install the game to your hard drive, you would never have to switch a disc again, which would be a pretty good option for a person like myself, since I play so many games, because that's basically my job. I run a walkthrough channel on YouTube, so I'm playing the majority of the games that come out. But you guys have to keep in mind that the average person and the average consumer only buys about 3 to 4 games a year. So, I don't know. Does having a constant online requirement, does that outweigh the fact that you're only going to be switching your disc out 3 to 4 times a year? Maybe if you are playing a lot of Call of Duty and that's all you play, then maybe. I don't know. Once again, that has kind of been the failure of Microsoft's PR and marketing department. Possibly the options that they're planning with the always online would have been a good thing in the long run, but it's your job as a company to relay that information to your consumers in some sort of way. So yeah. And with the DRM as well, you have to take into account that most likely this DRM thing did not come from Microsoft. It probably came from a push from publishers that went hand in hand, that just decided to work hand in hand with the whole DRM policy that they were trying to implement. But my question to that is, people don't take into account well, publishers don't take into account anyways, that the revenue from games being traded back goes directly into purchasing more games and more gaming accessories. So when you take your game to GameStop, they don't give you cash for the game that you hand in. They take a huge chunk. They give you like $30 back on a brand new game in which you paid $60 for, which is a huge ripoff. Yes, I understand that, but they only give you store credit, and the only thing that you can do with that store credit is either buy more games, more accessories, or new consoles. So by allowing that ability to trade in games, you're giving people more revenue to spend on video games. So I think that's it's a really overlooked fact that not a whole lot of game publishers seem to understand. But yeah, the main question that I wanted to ask from this whole change in policy is there ever a chance for a bait and switch in which they say, okay, we're doing this now to appease the hardcore fans and get our pre-orders back up there, but is there a possibility in which they can start slowly implementing these policies back into their system after the first year and they got all the early adopters on board? And yeah, that's my question. And my answer to that was, well, they could do that, but they open themselves up to a much larger PR hit in that sense, and that people will feel that there was a huge bait and switch, and I'm pretty sure that would open them up to a lot of class action lawsuits as well. So I'm thinking that until we get into more of a system where everything is digital, well, it will never be everything will never be completely digital. Music has been digital predominantly for a while now, but they're still selling CDs in stores, so that kind of gives you an idea of people like their discs, people like their hard copies of whatever they're buying. And with video games, you still get a good trade-in value. You get some sort of trade-in value for what you're trading in. So there's more value in that disc after you use it. So I think that disc will be a while. I'm thinking it's not going to be, not even the next generation, that after the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, that we're going to be all digital. I think it's going to be at the earliest the generation after that. So discs are going to be here for a while, and so long as they're discs available, then people are still going to want their DRM free video games. It's just how it is. So what does this mean though for Sony? So Sony kind of has been basically praised as they're being held in high regard for all the stuff that they did in opposite to Microsoft. So I think this probably took them by surprise as well, most likely as a company, because now they're going to have to work even harder to pitch their system and their services to make them more equatable, in what they're offering, which in the long run is great news. The more these companies go head to head against each other, that's the better thing for us. And it kind of goes to show you that competition works. If Sony didn't exist, or if they were both trying to work a monopoly together, we would all be paying for DRM games and with an always online video connection. So that's just how I feel about it. So what does that mean to you guys? Like, what are you planning to buy? Does this news change your opinion on what you will pre-order and possibly get you back on the Xbox 360 train, or the Xbox One train that is? So let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think of my opinions? If you think that I'm kind of off on what I'm saying, or if you have your own thoughts, I'll be sure to be reading them for the next while in the comment boxes. But yeah, those are my quick thoughts. I have had a dog sitting on my lap the entire time. He's getting quite heavy. He's a lap dog. Say hi. Say hi. Sleepy, 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 sleepy. So he probably has to go for a walk. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoy the series, or this quick little talk and vlog. I'm so used to saying series just with all my walkthroughs. But yeah, that's it for me. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, give the video a rating. And once again, as always, have a fantastic day.